Hello everybody, welcome back to Coaches Co-Creating, episode 6. My name's Jasmine and I'm a coactive transitional life coach.
And my name's Amanda and I'm a coactive business coach.
And today we're going to talk about saboteurs. So Amanda, what is a saboteur?
Okay, so saboteur tends to be called in common language the inner critic, so very much part of you, but maybe the negative voice in your head, the self-talk that isn't very helpful, maybe a bit damaging. I call it my negative committee because it can be comprised of more than one voice and different voices. So yeah. So could you tell me what the purpose of a saboteur might be?
I guess the purpose of the saboteur is to keep you where you are, safe, in your comfort zone.
Okay, so it's got kind of a good purpose then, would you say?
I guess maybe they think they are being good.
Okay.
Yes, it's not really to harm you, it's just to keep you safe. But the problem is, when you try something new to get out of your comfort zone and you want to grow, develop, they will do their best to just keep you where you are, stop you taking that step into the unknown. So I guess it's not good what they do.
Yeah, because it preserves the status quo and doesn't allow you to move on, I guess.
Exactly. And how do you know if it's you or your saboteur talking?
Okay, so I would say that the thing for me, especially if I'm listening to my own saboteur's voice, it's very flat and very not just negative in the tone and the expression, but negative in the sort of the flatness of the voice. And there's always a sigh at the beginning of it. So you're too old for this, you're not going to do it, just why are you bothering? Those sort of questions come up. But we call that dissonance when there's no sort of, it's the opposite of resonance. So when something's resonant, it fills you up, it makes you feel alive, your energy is raised and everything feels great. And that's typically when you're aligning to your values. And dissonance is where, it's the opposite. So it doesn't feel purposeful at all, and it just feels flat. So if you listen to the voice and see which it does to you, so if it makes you feel great, then chances are it's resonant and it's your true voice. But if it's flat and makes you feel about yourself, then that's more likely to be a saboteur talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do we deal with them?
Well, I guess there's numerous ways to deal with them. I guess the first is being aware that this is your saboteur. Like if you try something new and you're getting out of your comfort zone and then straight away you hear the voices say, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you're making a big mistake. If you know, hang on a minute, they're my saboteurs. So you're aware of them. And I think what I do with my clients is, so make sure they're aware of them. I get them to name them.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So like personify them.
Exactly. I get them
You've
to
got names for your saboteurs, Jasmine.
I have. I think, but funny, not like, one of them's called the Fly.
Okay.
And he's the one who puts pressure on me sometimes. Like, you need to do this, this, and this. So I drew it. So I get my clients to name them, visualize them, draw them.
My saboteur's going off on one now, going, God, if you ask me to draw them, don't do any drawing, Amanda, you're rubbish at drawing. They're always present, aren't they, these little voices to just tweak at you. And
You're right. But I guess as soon as you know that's what they are, and if you name them, draw them or acknowledge them, they do become smaller. Because sometimes if they're just in your head, they can just overwhelm you.
Yeah.
I
suppose it's a powerful perspective if you're aware that they're there.
Yeah.
That gives you kind of control almost, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because I would certainly say that in my past, if I've been aware of a voice which isn't helpful in my head, and I've said, no, I'm not listening to you, just go away. That was me taking charge. And because I was aware that it wasn't me, was able to just go, not listening to you, that's just, that's quite powerful to have that in your armory, isn't it? To be able to do that.
I think it can be life-changing, because it can be the difference between you either taking that step outside your comfort zone to start a new life, or just staying where you are and not doing anything, because all of the voices in your head are saying it's such a bad idea and you can't do it, you're going to fail. So I think it's for me, it's been life-changing. And like you said, we do know, we do take chances in our lives, maybe without knowing we have saboteurs. But I think as you get older, I think you need to know them. You need to be aware of them. What do you think?
I do, and agree. And I think, like we were talking earlier about the fact that as the step that you need to take gets bigger, or the challenge or the change is bigger, the louder the voice becomes as well. So if you kind of recognize that voice is likely to come up because you're aware that you've got this saboteur that's going to try and keep you down, then you can be almost ready for battle, can't you? You can also almost think, right, okay, bring it. What have you got for me now? And know how to counteract with them. And I was going to say, one of the ways that I've used with my clients as well is that we bring in the inner leader, which is what we spoke about a couple of episodes ago. So you've kind of got, you know, you've got the negative side of you, the very small negative side of you, but you've got the really powerful, wise inner leader part of you. And it's kind of almost sort of offsetting the one against the other, or the one overcoming the other. And what I would do is ask, what does your inner leader say about this? If there is a particular sort of message going round and round in someone's head. And often the older, wiser, you know, part of somebody who wants the best for them will just say, you've got this, you know.
Yeah, you're fine, you can do this. All you need is a few words like that to keep you moving forward. And another thing you mentioned earlier, which I thought was, I don't know if you've just mentioned it now actually, about fear. Like, you know, it's all about fear, isn't it? It makes us scared to take that next step. But if you don't take that step, that fear will get bigger, and your world actually will get smaller, because it kind of shrinks.
You'll be controlled by it, won't you?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
exactly.
I think once you can acknowledge and address your saboteurs, you become much more powerful in your own little world, don't you? So
yes. So that's saboteurs. So if you want to know more about that and you want to book a consultation with us, if you go to www.withnava.com.
And for me, it's www.happycoach.co.uk.
And thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.